so this is the demo video for our data pipeline project. So basically, this is our pipeline. We have a data from the data source, and we're gonna put it into our data lakes. Here we just use like Google Cloud storage bucket as our data lake to store all the data, and then we will extract and load it with Spark to a data warehouse, which is BigQuery, and then we do some data transformation with dbt cloud to extract some information from the data, and then finally this data insight will be represented as a dashboard in Google Cloud, in Google Looker Studio. And all of this pipeline, all the workflow is orchestrated by Airflow and Composer, and all the resources like the cloud storage, Dataproc cluster, BigQuery dataset, and Composer environment, etc. will be, and also dbt cloud will be managed by Terraform automatically. So at the beginning we can see that we just have a account in dbt cloud, but there is no weird. Need to log into. Okay, it's gonna take some time to load. So we just have an account, but we don't have any project yet, because the project gonna be created with Terraform. And at the beginning we have no resources in Google Cloud yet. Well, we need some time to load. The internet is not that fast yet. Okay. But on the side we need to have like a GitHub for dbt project to have all of the dbt transformation model that it's like the codes that will be linked to the dbt cloud later on. But as we can see here on Google Cloud, we do not have any Composer environment. We have no Dataproc cluster. There are no VM instances whatsoever. We do have some buckets in cloud storage, and we also have some data set existing in BigQuery, because I already run the pipeline before, and this is the data artifacts that Terraform will not destroy because we want the data to remain. But if we run the pipeline for the first time, there will be no buckets or no data set whatsoever here. Okay, let's start it. So we just move to our project, terminal project. Just go to Terraform and check the state. It should be alright. Okay, and let plan run Terraform plan. Okay, so it's gonna tell us it's gonna plan to add 23 resources. Nothing to destroy. Like it will create some Dataproc cluster, some buckets for the Dataproc, and also the Composer, etc. Now we're gonna run Terraform apply. Okay, let's say just to confirm. Okay, so Terraform has successfully finished creating our resources. We can see that there's no errors, run of right. The Dataproc cluster take around 6 minutes to create it, and the composer airflow environment take around 26 minutes. We can check here the composer environment is created, the Dataproc cluster also created. It created some VM instances to run as our workers for airflow workers, and also as workers for our Dataproc cluster. The buckets in the dataset already exist, so it will not create it further. And it created project inside DBT Cloud for us. And as we say, we will need to link the content. Actually, now the project is just created, it has nothing in it. We'll need to import the content of this GitHub repo to that project. So all the DBT model can be imported into DBT Cloud project. And we need, in order to do that, we need to paste the deployed key of the DBT Cloud project that we created and paste that as a deploy key in the GitHub repo. Get it here, say it DBT key. If we want to develop the model further, we can allow write access as well, but actually here we just want to run the pipeline and we want to import the models from the GitHub repo, so actually we do not need write access now, but just keep it here. Okay. The Terraform, after finish running it, return the deploy key for DBT, but we can actually manually check it here, right, in the web UI as well. Okay, so now our project in DBT Cloud is linked to the repo, so it could be alright. So that's just for the setup, and our pipeline is ready to run. So let's open Airflow UI. Okay, some login. Let's go into our dark. Okay, so at the beginning I do not set it to run yet, but we see, like, after we created the resources and all the states of Airflow is lost from previous run, and it's quite inconvenient because, like, maybe we run some data backfill for several days before, but now we don't know which one. Actually, we can solve that with like load the snapshots. So actually all the state of the Airflow composer before into some buckets, and also we can save the current state of the composer Airflow environment and load it later. Actually, I already saved the state of Airflow from previous run in this location, in this snapshot location. So now we can actually load it. Okay, so we just specify this snapshot and this one. Okay, just make a select, and we can just skip everything because all these things already is created and it's the same the same. Okay, we continue. So actually this saving and loading the snapshots is really good, because it's allowed us, like, we have a pipeline, we run it for some time, and everything is saved. All the details, all the data, all the states are saved in Google Cloud Storage buckets, and everything else, like all the compute engines, the VM instances, the Dataproc cluster, the Airflow environment, all the computing resources can be destroyed after we running the pipeline, and we only need to store in Google Cloud the actual data and the states. And storing the data is cheap. It's very cheap in compared to remaining the pipeline with the computing resources. For example, we can see the actual say the actual billing account, the detailed reports. And we will see that most of the bills are paid because of the compute engine and also Airflow Composer. All the BigQuery storage and also cloud storage is quite cheap in compared to the other thing. And with loading the snapshot of the environment, it can really save our cost. We're going to take some time here. So the snapshot has been loaded successfully in our environment, and all the previous state of the dark also been loaded. We can see here I have already run some backfill run in the previously, and there's some fail run. We can rerun, clear this fail run from the web UI as well, but we can also trigger it from the terminal. So we can trigger the pipeline for this fail run for the 9th of October. Running now. Maybe we can also for the date of the 10 as well. Let's see it running. So to the site. Good. Okay, maybe it will run after. So actually our dark has, like, we config the download URL from the website and then download it into a GCS bucket, and we upload it to a more persistent bucket, and we clean up after we uploading the data into a persistent bucket, which I get out data lake, and then it will be loaded by Dataproc and then run data transformation with dbt job and so on. Okay, so now it's been waiting for dbt run. Actually, we check the production function here, we can see that we have a job running. Now it's finished, and the task should be finished now. We have that we do not trigger the job run for the 10th of October, but we can also clear it with the just clear it. The UI clear. Okay. And now it runs again. Okay, so now the pipeline is running for 10th of October. We can actually check the BigQuery dataset first. Some time to load, let's say. So actually, yeah, the data were last updated like 2 minutes ago with the last run, and this is the target table that is been has been transformed by DBT. It's also been updated by that's 2 minutes. Let's see. So it's running. Still waiting for DBT run. We can see in DBT now. There should be another running job now. Yes, so this job is running. Okay, so it's finished, success. So now here in our data pipeline, it should also update it that it's successful, and in the data warehouse, the data set we have in BigQuery should also be updated. Okay, yes, so it's just been updated like 15 seconds ago. Then we can check the looker. Here. That's the dashboard. So this is the dashboard for January 2015, but if we update it to October till today, then October, the end date shall apply, and the record is 0, everything is 0 because there's no data for 12th of October yet. Okay. So all this data is updated from retrieve from BigQuery table. It's still loading. And well, the record number, the activity number for the past 2 days, for the 9th to the 10th is also all few. So we do not have any data for for 11th and 12th yet, and maybe we do not have data in the web for today already, but yesterday is November 11th, so it should have that data. So actually we also want to test whether the pipeline run automatically, because here I schedule it to run at the end of the day, UTC time. So it's gonna take quite some time, but I already changed, maybe I made some modification to change to run in a few minutes now, but I don't know whether the information has been uploaded on. Okay, now it's uploaded. Okay, so it's supposed to be scheduled in a minute now, and we should just it should be running right now. Okay, so it's in a couple of minutes it should be running in a couple of minutes. Yes, so now it's running because we schedule it to run every day at 6:20 UTC. So it's triggering the whole pipeline. It's running, and we should see some changing at the end of the pipeline at the dashboard here. So right now we have no data for the 11th. Let's refresh to the January 25, 15. But we're gonna check it later. Okay, so it's loading the data. Now it's processing by Dataproc. Actually, we can check in Dataproc. That's the job actually running in Dataproc. Okay, so this is the job that is running right now in our pipeline. Yeah. Okay. It succeeded. So now it should be updated here. Okay, so it sent the job into DBT. So there should be a job running in DBT now. Maybe it already succeeded. Okay, it's still running. Still running. And maybe it's gonna finish soon. We can just check it here in the dashboard that there actually some data for the 11th of October is updated in our data pipeline. supposed to be running 10, 11. Still no, maybe it haven't updated to BigQuery yet. Let's reset again because I set this one as the default range. Still nothing. Okay, so actually that might be some weird thing with Looker Studio, because the change for the 11 doesn't appear here, but when I just restrict it from the 11th of October to 12th of October, and then actually the data actually get updated. So yeah, so our data pipeline is automatically run on schedule. Yeah, very cool. Okay, so now we can destroy all the resources we have. We can destroy all the cloud resources. I say with Terraform, and we can check it's gonna destroy it for us. Okay, just to confirm. So Terraform has finished destroying all the resources for us, but we can see here like there's 5 arrows because it's trying to delete the 4 buckets in the cloud storage we have, and also try to deleting the BigQuery dataset. But because we set Terraform to not destroy them, so it get arrows. But we can check that actually all the environments, the Dataproc cluster, or the VM instances already been deleted, and the buckets and also the dataset is still the same. They still remain the same. And if we refresh here, we can see that actually the project is already been deleted. So so good, like every computing resources already been created by Terraform and also destroyed by Terraform.